across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061.
What's up, family? Welcome to another edition of Talk Show Kings, coming at you having big fun out in TV 1061 in Douglasville, Georgia. First of all, we want to go ahead and give a shout out to our executive producer, the fabulous Mr.
Yes.
Felix Washington in the back making things
What's
happen.
Up, Felix, man?
We want to give a shout out to stop it, Felix. We want to give a shout out to Ms. Shantae Barksdale, our media guru, and want to give a shout out to Mr. Marcus Givens,
hey, Marcus,
our
we miss
technical
you.
director.
Marcus,
you know,
man.
Marcus be back there doing buttons and stuff, making sure the audio, visual, blah, blah, blah come through. Now, today is Mother's Day, so we definitely want to give a shout out to Mama, all right? My
Big
mother,
shout
Miss
out.
Regina Janice Schofield, I love you
Hey,
with all
Miss
my
Schofield.
heart. I went over there today to see her, you know, took a little pot of roses. I didn't know if I wanted to give it to her at first because, you know, flowers dying. I didn't
Right.
But I went on ahead and gave it to her. I left it on the counter. I don't know if she even seen it yet, to be honest, y'all. But, you know, we talked and laughed and watched TV and just spent time with Mama.
Yeah.
Y'all want to give a shout out to Mom? Let me have
Absolutely.
my kings introduce themselves, starting
Absolutely.
on my right.
Hey, King Mel here. Thank you guys for joining us once again, and I want to say Happy Mother's Day to my mother, Lynette Brooks, and also to my biological mom, who's been passed away about 27 years ago,
Yes,
Sylvia
yes,
Williams.
yes.
Hey, still happy Heavenly Mother's Day. Always gonna be Mom, and I'm just glad to be back with you fellas, man, and with the audience.
Absolutely. Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
I want to say hello. My name is King Lundy, one of the kings here. Thank you so very much for watching the show. I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that's out there, but especially my mom. You know who you are, Miss Geneva Lundy. I love you so much. Words cannot compare to so much sacrifice and dedication that you've made to me and my other siblings. And I want to just say I love you on this special day.
Well, you know, I'm hosting today, and
Yes,
so you
sir.
just stole my line. Because I was
Yeah.
going to give a shout out to all the mothers,
Absolutely.
all the teachers who mother the kids, because Lord knows
Yeah,
the
definitely.
village, when I left, the village wanted their idiot back. So every teacher that I ever gave a hard time, I
It takes a
appreciate y'all
good.
to the bottom of my heart. You know, Miss Beverly,
Yeah.
Miss Hattie Mae,
Yeah.
Miss Pauline, everybody in Simpson Woods who helped raise this crazy boy right here.
Absolutely.
Now, we going to jump into Aubrey.
We
Y'all
got
ready?
to.
Yo,
Got
yeah,
to.
Y'all
that's
ready?
definitely a topic
Yes.
we're gonna have to
Yeah.
jump
Oh, y'all
into.
want me to go first?
Yeah.
Y'all got
Yeah,
it.
let's
Okay,
jog
check
into
this
it.
out, right?
Start it off.
The young cat, Aubrey, was jogging, right?
Yeah.
He went into a house that was being constructed.
Right.
In order to burglarize something, first of all, legally, you cannot burglarize something with no doors and no windows.
Right.
If you think I'm making this up, look up the definition. He went in there, looked around, didn't take anything, didn't bother anything, started back jogging. Now, at some point, he went past the two assailants.
Right.
And I call them assailants. I'll explain that in a moment. He went past these two guys.
Okay.
Okay. They called a friend, grabbed their guns, got in the truck, and tracked him down. Okay. They're driving beside him saying, "We want to talk to you." He's not stopping. He keeps going. They pull the truck over in front of him. One jumps out with the shotgun. Aubrey is afraid for his life.
Absolutely. I
And
would
fights.
be as well. Yeah.
Well, first of all, if you approach someone with a weapon, if you approach someone with a rock in your hand,
Right.
that's assault. From the
Facts.
beginning, that's assault
that's
because
facts.
you're putting a person, whether you do anything to them or not, to put a person in fear with the weapon is assault. If you don't believe me, look up the definition on your own.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
So they get into it. Aubrey's fighting, feels like he's fighting for his life.
Right. Absolutely.
A shot goes off, you hear it. Then another shot goes off, and you can see when the second shot goes off, you see him fighting. You also see the guy in the truck cock his pistol and
Yeah.
starts pointing it at Aubrey.
Yeah, he had
Okay,
another.
Aubrey's giving the guy who he's fighting the business. Then the gun is pointed at him. The gun is pointing at him,
Yeah, I
and
saw.
boom, he's shot in the stomach. Hits him a couple of more times, stumbles as he's trying to go away, and falls. He never regained consciousness. Okay, there's a guy in the car behind him filming the whole thing. Now, he filmed Aubrey running. So Aubrey not only had somebody in front of him, he had somebody in back of him as well.
Right.
So he had no escape.
Right.
Regardless, the sheriff department, the powers that be down there where he was
Prosecutors and
in
the DA.
Brunswick,
Brunswick,
Yeah.
Georgia,
Yeah.
Glenn County.
Yeah.
they said that it was self-defense and there was no need for an arrest.
Right.
The officers down there
Right.
wanted to make arrests. They told them no, it was self-defense.
Okay.
How can you assault a person and then claim self-defense? To me, that makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
I can't come at you in a threatening manner and then you whoop my butt or whatever the case may be. We get into an altercation and then I say it was self-defense.
Okay.
You can't initiate an altercation and then call it self-defense.
Yeah.
Well,
From the
Please
word-
chime in and tell me
Absolutely.
and tell me
From-
what you think.
Well-
From the word go, out of the box, when the district attorney, Barnhill, is the one that made the comment stating that this was self-defense. He also, ignorant Barnhill, made the accusation that it was fell under the Georgia Stand Your Grounds law, which was passed in 2006.
Okay.
But there was no way in the world that he was on anybody's ground for them to stand their ground and kill this young guy.
Well, I'm gonna say, I'm from Florida,
Right.
so you know we have a stand your ground law as well.
Right.
Problem with this whole situation is, I don't give a damn how you look at it. The video itself will show you exactly
Yeah.
what happened. You see him jogging. Now the guy that's filming it, right? You were all the way back there. You didn't get to see Aubrey until you bent the curve slightly. You were closer up. He was still jogging. Aubrey then, if you look at the video, goes to
Did
the right of
around.
the truck.
Exactly.
Right.
The guy stops and says something to him. He comes up to him with a gun. Now, like you said, you're gonna fear for your life when somebody has a gun in
Exactly.
front of you. So he immediately goes to fighting,
Right.
right? It's two white guys. One has a pistol on the truck, one has a shotgun. I'm in fear for my life, so I'm fighting.
Right,
Like you
absolutely.
said, two shots went off. Then a third shot went off, and the third shot, like you say, hit him in the stomach. He swings a couple of more times. He stumbles forward like he tries to run, or like he's trying to run for his life now.
Right.
Falls on the ground.
Right.
You see the guy get off the truck and walk over there with the gun. Now, like you said, the stand your ground thing. The only person standing their ground was Aubrey.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you understand your ground law, you would understand. You can see this video. The only person that was threatened was Aubrey. You got people surrounding you with guns.
Yeah.
It's an open and shut case to me, and I don't think, me personally, with that being said, I don't think you should house them for now another day. Do what you're gonna do to them, but we shouldn't have to pay for it, not taxpayers.
Well, I understand wholeheartedly, but you got to understand when they call for a grand jury, only thing that does is delay the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now they're showing that the father was a part of a Confederate march. He was marching with
Go figure.
Confederate flag. He wasn't holding the flag, but he was in a Confederate uniform.
Yeah.
They're saying that I saw a video of Jermaine Dupri, and Jermaine Dupri was saying he was wondering how did the tape get out? You know what happened? Who was back there recording?
Oh, they had.
Now, hold on,
Right,
gentlemen.
absolutely.
Hold on, gentlemen.
Uh-huh.
Kings. Well, the guy in the back filming was a part of the initial call.
Right, absolutely.
Yes, he was
their
filming.
friend. Yeah, absolutely.
They were bragging about it supposedly and showing it to their friends.
Right.
One of the friends said, "That's not right. They're on some nonsense."
Right.
And turned it in.
He
The
turned
video
it in-
went
he
out.
turned- Right. He
The
turned it
same
into
day
an
the
attorney.
video went out, they retracted it.
Right.
So it only went out. But when it went out, people got it, recorded it, and
Right.
kept it going.
Absolutely.
Now, if you think things can't
yeah.
change, look at what's happening. Social media made this come out.
Yeah.
Did you?
Things can change because we are the system. We are the government of America is made by the people for the people. We are the people. If you want things to change,
Right.
make it happen. Point blank and period. People don't understand. Dr. Martin Luther King, one of my heroes. Dr. Martin Luther King, and I'm not saying he was a saint. Don't get me wrong. I'm not finna go into the details of that. But when Dr. King was marching, people don't understand that was marketing. That was publicity. The whole time he was going out marching, Thurgood Marshall, an attorney, was in court changing the laws. Where's our modern day Thurgood Marshall? Where's somebody who's going to challenge the stand your ground law?
Yeah.
Because
Well, go ahead. They are going to be challenged as the progress takes form. You know, they're incarcerated now. Like you said, the grand jury has to intervene. They've been charged, you know, but the case is being billed against them. Martin Luther King said that justice delayed is justice denied.
Exactly.
So it took 74 days for this man to be arrested. Within those 74 days that it took him to be arrested, all the evidence has not been compiled yet until the GBI stepped in. Because both district attorneys that stepped down, it was a conflict of interest. Simply because the father, 64-year-old Gregory McMichael, he was once a Glenn County police officer for 7 years. Another 20 years, he was an investigator for the DA County Brunswick DA's office. So they had to recuse themselves and step down. That's when the DA that's on the case now, Tom Jordan, came in, and he's working the case thoroughly.
Go ahead.
in all actuality,
Yeah.
the DA told the family
Yeah.
they were going to give it to the GBI.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Okay.
Until
Okay.
the mother went and secured an attorney. The attorney called the GBI. The GBI hadn't heard of it.
Is that right?
So in 48 hours,
Right.
the GBI did something that wasn't done in 72 days.
Right.
They made an arrest
Right.
and did an investigation.
Listen, I'm just going to touch on what you just said.
Yeah.
You said justice delayed is justice denied, right?
Right.
It took 74 days for that, right? Here's my thing. With justice delayed being justice denied, right? You're steady delaying what there's clear evidence of.
Right.
You're about to make this family have to suffer through witness and testimony and people on the other side acting for these people,
Right.
pointing out how good of people they are. They had a Christian Facebook group that changed their name for Justice for Gregory and his son, right? Justice for these men,
Right.
because they're good Christian men who were only trying to protect their neighborhood. This is what they said.
Right.
Now, what I want to know is, because last time I checked, I think they had like 77,000 followers and people on there in the group, right? What I want to know is what these good Christian men were protecting when, like you said, the house was being built. No doors,
Right.
no windows.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the house, looks nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How many of us have passed by houses and neighborhoods being built and said, hey, let me see what the floor plan on this house is?
Right.
I've done it several times because I worked outside. So.
But if I can interrupt just for a second, they wasn't protecting anything. They were actually mad and upset. See, because 2 months prior
Okay.
to this happening, a break-in happened at the younger 34-year-old Travis Michael's house.
Okay.
Somebody stole a Glock 9mm gun out of his glove compartment box.
Okay.
So see, they have been mad for 2 months. It just so happened that Aubrey went into the house, construction house.
Okay.
They happened to be out, still looking for somebody to fit that description.
Understand.
And he was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Now,
I'm sorry. I gotta tell you, when they say the wrong place at the wrong time, I have to disagree with that.
Well, it's
because-
cliche.
Yeah, that's cliche.
It's
That's what I'm
cliche.
saying. You know, when you
Yeah.
wrong place, wrong time. No, I was in the right place, right time, minding my business,
Right.
and you decided that my business had no business in your quote unquote neighborhood. Wasn't bothering anybody. So.
well, he committed no
Yeah.
crime.
No crime.
So the only crime that we're about to commit is going to break. Because we're going hot and heavy on this.
Yeah,
Okay, family?
definitely.
We'll be back in a minute. I'm going to address some comments when we get back as
Okay.
well. Coming at you live and direct, Talk Show Kings.
Hi, I'm Chief Gary Sparks with the Douglasville Police Department. Today we want to give you some safety tips concerning traffic stops. Take a look.
So you look in your rear view mirror and see flashing blue lights. What do? Remain calm. Yield to the right and pull your vehicle over into an off-road area that is safe for both you and the officer. Put your car in park. Remove your foot from the brake and turn the radio off. Remain in your vehicle. Have your driver's license readily available for the officer. Keep your hands on the steering wheel, visible for the officer at all times. If you need to retrieve any items from the interior, explain what you're reaching for to the officer and avoid any sudden movements. Rolling the window down completely establishes a level of trust with the officer and allows for ease of interaction during the routine traffic stop. Be courteous and polite. Be cooperative and willing to follow the officer's instructions. During a routine traffic stop, the officer will return to his vehicle to run the tag and driver's license verification and complete a citation if one is necessary. Once the officer returns and approaches your vehicle, whether or not a citation or warning is issued, please remain calm, courteous, and cooperative. Sign the citation acknowledging you agree to appear in court, and do not dispute the citation with the officer. The officer will give you a court date to explain or defend your infraction.
Okay, ma'am. Like I told you, I did clock you at 51 in a 35 mile per hour speed zone. I did issue a citation, okay? This here is going to be your court date. I just need a signature from you stating that you received a copy of this citation, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Here's your driver license.
Thank you.
Along with a copy of the citation, okay? Do you have any questions or concerns for me?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you have a nice day, okay?
Thank you. You
Thank
too.
you.
Following these few simple steps will help ensure a safe interaction for both you and the officer.
I hope these few tips help you as it relates to dealing with law enforcement and traffic stops. Not only in traffic stops, but in all encounters with law enforcement. We hope that all our encounters are safe for the citizens as well as for our officers. Again, we want you to be safe, and if you have any problems with the Douglasville Police Department, don't hesitate to give us a call and make your concerns known. I would add that Georgia is a right to carry state, and we hope that if you are carrying, that on these traffic stops and all encounters, please let the officer know that you are carrying. This will ensure your safety and our officers' safety. Thank you, may God bless you, and may God keep our community safe. We are one.
Hi, I'm Harry Lennox, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network.
Welcome back to
Yes.
Let's Say-
Welcome back.
Hey, family, check this out, right?
Yeah.
When we were leaving, we were talking about the case, and we're going the Aubrey case, and
Yeah.
we're going right back into it.
get it.
Now, there are a few things that I want to talk about, right?
Okay.
First of all, as I've already stated, you cannot burglarize a house without doors and a window.
Facts.
Right?
Okay.
Second of all, there were no calls to report a burglary at that time.
Okay.
So they have no right to approach this man. And if they do approach him and he says, I don't want to talk to you, that's the end. Because you
Yeah,
can't force
that's-
another person to talk to
Exactly.
you. Second of all, a citizen's arrest. A citizen's arrest happens when you visually see someone commit a crime.
Okay.
When you're doing a citizen's arrest, you visually see someone commit a crime, you go over and try to stop them without physical force, and you call the police to come and arrest them. Now, there was no call made to the police.
Okay.
Therefore, this is not a citizen's arrest. That's 1, 2, 3. Where else was I going? Oh, I already talked about assault, how this was an assault from the beginning. If you from anywhere of a poor community, you know that in a fight, there's a winner and there's a loser.
Yes.
You do not go into a fight, start it, and then say, well, I was afraid, so this, that, and the other.
Exactly.
That just don't happen. I mean, if you gonna go there, then be prepared to either win or take that ass whooping.
That's right.
It is what it is.
I just feel like right now, I feel like we're having to relive the Trayvon Martin case all over again, where someone was doing absolutely nothing to anyone, but yet was followed and bothered and killed for protecting themselves.
Yes.
You know, I remember with the Trayvon Martin case, and they were talking about George Zimmerman, and you could hear the 911 call, and the lady says, do not follow him.
Exactly.
Do not bother him. But you went after him and bothered him. He may have been 17, but, you know, whatever the case, you couldn't handle him as, you know, as a man, you know, and he did what he had to do to protect himself, and then you shot this man.
But when he was told not to follow him and he did
Exactly.
anyway, how was that stand your ground? But that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a particular case because this will repeat itself over and over again
Absolutely.
unless the law is changed. Where is our modern day Thurgood Marshall? Where is our attorney that's going to take this to court, take this law and challenge it?
Right.
Okay? Now, me, I'm a huge fan of I'm about to mess up her name. Congressman AOC. I don't want to mess up her name, so I'm just going to say AOC.
Right.
So I'm hoping that she addresses the stand your ground. This is going to the Vice President Biden is talking about it.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's talking about it.
Yeah.
And that kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah.
No offense to Tom Brady, but I ain't never liked the guy. Just being honest.
Hey, it is what it is.
I mean, well,
I need to get on some of these comments after we talk.
Just like the Trayvon Martin case. And we saw what happened in that case.
Yeah.
In a lot of the black cases that happen with white officers. What we got to understand and what we got to know is that, and the comment I'm about to make, I'm not a racist of none whatsoever, and I get along with white people, and I like some white people, but white people take care of white people.
They do.
Now,
that's just facts.
Now, historically, why can't we do the same thing?
Well, the thing is, when I talk about the system, I wouldn't go to a hue and say white people take care of white people. I would say the system is designed for a certain hue, for a certain color, for a certain race. The system is designed, is set up so that there are things in place to where if something happens, they have a way to get out of things. And I would think it's more of poor than it is about just.
But it's not just about. But I'm gonna tell you something. Yeah, it's about you being poor, but it's also about color. I said this a long time ago, and people may agree or disagree with what I'm about to say, but the Constitution itself, you're not gonna have change until you go back and revamp what we consider the Constitution, because it was never made for America that it is today. The fact is that black people were
Black America.
Yeah, they weren't made for black America.
That's why we have amendments.
So here's what we're gonna say.
Absolutely.
You can make all the amendments you want to try to you know, you're trying to put a Band-Aid on something that and you've been shot with a 12 gauge. You can't do it.
I wholeheartedly disagree with that.
Okay, here's what I'm saying. Think about it. When slaves were over here, when slaves came, the absolute thing that was supposed to happen was they were supposed to use the slaves to build up the country, build everything, and then they were supposed to be eradicated. The eradication part never happened. Now, let's just flash forward to when we get to where Abraham Lincoln does the Emancipation Proclamation, right? You do the Emancipation Proclamation, but then you say, you have the amendment that says, you know, you're a free man, right? Unless, now, here's the part that nullifies everything before that. Unless you get caught committing a crime, then you would be a ward of the state and have to serve prison time and do the same work for free, right? Back then, when you did that, you had nobody to take up for black people. So all you had to do was say, oh, well, he looked at me funny, or he did this, or he did that, or she did this. Now you have them in jail for a ridiculous amount of time for something that they didn't even do. Now, flash forward to today. You still have that same thing in play. How is it possible for black people to only make up 12.6 to 13% of the population, but yet and still make up 70-some% of the prison population? With that being said, if everybody in America committed crimes, everybody, all 328.2 million people committed crimes, black people in total could only commit 12.6 to 13% of the crime.
Okay,
how is it possible?
That puts a cap on my theory. That I just said. White people take care of white people.
And it's
Back
true.
in the 60s and 70s, when black men were going to trial for these isolated incidents, and they had an all-white jury, you think some of those white jurors were sending these men home? No, they wasn't.
No.
But let a white man get sentenced for that same crime.
Yeah.
He'll either go home, get probation, or nothing will happen. That's my theory.
Okay.
That's exactly what I said about white people.
Go ahead, King.
And
Brothers,
taking care of themselves.
when you say white people, I just think that's too general of a comment.
Right.
Simply because we are the system. We need to change the system. We need to A, run for office. We need to B, vote. We need to get out of the mindset that things have to be the way they are. Because nothing has to be any kind of way. Okay? When we sit and say, I don't vote because whatever.
Right.
You are perpetuating the system.
Right.
Even now, people saying, well, I'm not going to vote for Biden because he blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Okay, well, if you don't vote for Biden, you might as well vote for Trump.
Right.
Because his followers aren't going to say any of this BS. They're going to sit and vote for him. So while we're dividing up our vote to get him out of office, it's just going to perpetuate and get him right back in office.
Answer this question. Why is Stacey Abrams not our governor right now?
Because she was cheated out the election.
She was more qualified.
Very more. Much more qualified.
She was a better candidate.
Yes.
You know, the votes got stolen from her.
Atlanta.
You know why she's not our governor? Because she's black.
Yeah.
And
Because she was cheated out of the election. Period.
But guess what?
How did Trump win with negative 2.8 million votes?
A lot of blacks are cheated out of everything. We're cheated out of everything.
Listen, it's in again. We gonna go right back to the system. Understand something. You play football, right?
Yeah.
You play the sports too, right? You play sports. Okay. How is it possible for you to win a game by 3 touchdowns and still lose? In the system, they had to set up. Like with this whole, you know, where the states, where you have to win certain states, these electoral, you know what I'm saying, whatever. Listen, the electoral collegiate system is designed to help the system to fail because there's no possible way for Hillary Clinton to have won by popular majority, right? But still lose. And it's set up that way. And the same thing you said about black people, but I'm going to tell you this, Doc. We can say, where are our black officials and everything, right? But the fact of the matter is, black people only total like 50-something million in the American population. White people total almost 200 million. So no matter what we do, and here's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to get you to understand it is not as simple as black versus white. There are millions of white people who don't feel like this they don't feel like this stuff is right. Okay? There are millions. So we can't just say black versus white. We got to get people in there. First of all, we need to, as people in general, this whole two-party nonsense, we need to get away with. Because you don't vote for a person, you vote for a policy. What does this person stand for? I don't give a care if they're Democrat or Republican. What are their views as far as life, as far as how will America be run? There's no way in the goodness we should allow Congress to have a senator or a congressman to be in one term of office and get paid that same salary for the rest of their life. That is nonsense. There's no way we should let somebody get in there and stay forever.
So
they get in there in the office at 21 and die out of it. That don't make sense. Ideas, time out. No, I'm on no old father. There's no way in the beginnings because ideas, life changes. So them same people that got them ideas from 1946, 66, they don't need to be in office. We need as Americans to run our government like we're supposed to.
Okay, so what you're saying is, if the two men on the back of that pickup truck was black, do you think they would have killed Aubrey? If they were black, do you think they would have killed Aubrey?
No, they were black. They wouldn't have even chased Aubrey.
Absolutely. That's my point I'm trying to make. And when I make it a white on black type of situation, because they kill him in hatred for him. They kill him from the hatred from the sight of a black man running. If there was a white man running down the street, they would have never approached him. And if they would have approached him, they would not have approached him with weapons drawn and shooting at him if he was a white man.
And I'm not arguing that point at all. But what I'm saying is we need to change the laws that defend that kind of nonsense. We can sit here and say whatever, and we can put them man in the electric chair. We can take them in and put a bullet in their head right now. But if we don't change that GD law, the same thing will happen again, and we'll be going through this same nonsense.
So let me ask you this question. What you asking is saying that we need to change the laws, right?
Yes.
I feel that. But here's the problem you're going to face. The people that make the laws, and I'm going to be real.
Right.
The people, the Congress, the Senate, and everything else. Understand something. Look, I want you to, if you could just pull up a picture of the Senate and the Congress, right?
Right.
Pull them up. House of Representatives, pull them up. When you pull them up and you see that picture, I can guarantee you may see specks of color and specks of what, but you're gonna see older, right?
Exactly.
I'm not trying to make it a black or white thing.
That's my point, brother. That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying to you though, Doc, is this here, King. Listen, I get it that the laws have to be changed, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But when we're trying to get this established, we're gonna have white people who agree, just like that, think like human beings. I'm like you. Two-party system, do away with it. You know what I'm saying? All the racial things, do away with it. That's what I would prefer. But the fact of the matter is, it's a lot of them older white people that done passed their beliefs down to the kids, and they're passing. When I was young, I was in a small town of Willaca, Florida, right? Willaca, Florida. I'm walking to the convenience store. Willaca, Florida. Listen, one traffic light to this day. But listen, I walked into the convenience store that I have been walking into my whole life. I done been walking to this thing. I done been in this store so many times. Get there, I'm walking up. This little white girl in the car, right? Her mother's in the store. I walked past the car. The little white girl said, "Nigger, nigger," just like that. And when her mom was walking out, she said, I looked, I'm like, she said, "What happened?" I said, "Your daughter just called me a nigger." And she said, "I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I don't teach her that. Her father has been teaching her that."
Yeah, she heard him somewhere.
Understand, it's people who are perpetuating this thing. Now, I'm not saying that we can't change it. But what I'm saying is, Doc, that it's going to be a hard stretch to change it when you got so many people behind it that's still preaching the same thing.
That's my point, brother. That's why we need to change Congress. That's why we need to put term limits. That way those people from way back when it was okay, that's in the few. Now, there's still a lot of them, but they're not the majority anymore. Once upon a time, the KKK stood over 3 million strong. 3 million motherfucking people. We gotta go to break.
The king is heated.
When we come back, we're gonna get into this some more.
The king
and I'm going to get in these comments. Yeah,
the king.
Today's world exposes our youth to life experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their livelihoods are in constant danger. Wisdom, Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better. Wisdom, Inc. Reducing violence, developing youth, saving lives.
Welcome to Burke's Jewelry. How may I help you?
We're looking for engagement rings.
We offer a wide selection. However, I believe we have just what you're looking for. Burke's Jeweler is your family's jeweler at 491 Flat Shoals Avenue Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia 30316 in East Atlanta Village.
Are you an artist, a writer of spoken word? Do you have content ready but need exposure? Get to know me. I'm Alicia, host of a new Facebook live stream show called The Flavor, where we promote local and international talent of all genres. Here are some rules and regulations to the videos that we'll be accepting. They must be radio ready, no cursing, no lewd language. You must send us contact information as well as a YouTube link to your video so we can extract it from there. Email us at 1061tv@gmail.com, and we thank you for your time.
Hi, I'm Harry Lennox, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network.
You know it's hard out here for a pimp.
You know.
Okay, check this out, right? TV 1061, we've been on air for over a year, and we're trying to get sponsors, but things are getting a little hard for us. So we're asking if you're able to donate, please do. The Cash App is $TV 1061. I understand, you know, whatever you can give, please give, okay? Thank you very much for that public service announcement. But now, back into what we were talking about. Okay, I'm insistent in that not all white people, not all people, period, feel that way. I think there should be term limits on Congress because I feel like those views are few and they don't represent America as a whole. I feel like we need term limits to get those older people with those ideas out. There's no way people like, I ain't gonna call Mitch McConnell's name, but there's certain people that there's no way they should be allowed to be in Congress because of the views and things that they have said and done. Okay, let me get to these comments. We've had comments since the very beginning. KJ is watching us, Kenneth D. Wilson, he's watching us. Thank you, KJ. Alphonse and Arthur Johnson. Alphonse and Artie, thank y'all. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Geneva Lundy is watching. Good evening, Talk Show King. Hey, Miss Geneva. Alphonse. Hey, thanks for the shout out, Alphonse. Hey, Angie. Angie Smith Gorham.
How you doing, Angie?
Damn, I'm pissed off at this. That's Alphonse. He shouldn't have died, point blank. When can I be a guest on the show? Hey, let us know when you're going to be in town. We'll talk to Felix, and hey, who knows? They lied on the family numerous of times. I feel you on that. And to me, the whole thing of bringing up this man's past is nonsense. You know, I mean, you can't bring up his past talking about what happened now. The two have nothing to do with each other.
At all.
So, yeah, it's just nonsense. Shamika is on. Thank you, Shamika, for watching.
Thank you, Shamika.
KJ says, I have definitely been taught evidence I was unaware of. Great show. Thank you, KJ. Where can I find the video? At first search, I saw an interview from his mother which showed screenshots.
If you want a video,
speak on it. Thanks, KJ. Alphonse is watching. Dolores Peoples, thank you for watching, Dolores. We appreciate you.
If she wants
those
a video,
are our comments. Yeah.
If she wants a video, go on YouTube and look up Sean King. You can find a video posted on his page. It hasn't been taken down yet. I just seen it yesterday, so it should still be up to date. But yeah, that'll definitely be a good place to go look.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Kings. My brother King Lundy, Marcelin.
Hey, Marshall, how's it going? Love you.
Hey, now we okay. Understand that regardless of how heated our conversation appears. The Kings are the Kings.
Yes,
you know, we're brothers, and we got each other back.
Absolutely.
The whole thing that we're saying is, I'm not disagreeing with them that this is a hate crime. I'm not disagreeing with them by no stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, no.
But my point is that I think that the laws have to be changed to where when something is a hate crime, it's called that immediately, and there are no shortcuts to say, well, it was okay.
Yeah.
There's no way that
That
DA
was
should
not
not be.
okay.
Yeah, there's no way that
That's
DA
not
should be able
okay.
to say anything.
Yeah.
To say, you know, well, by stand your ground, by anything. There's no way.
Yeah.
You know, it just it was
With a
wrong.
crime like that.
And
Absolutely.
eventually, we got to get to the point where, regardless of hue, regardless of color, race, national origin, we got to get to the point where we say wrong.
Enough
is
is
wrong.
Absolutely. We have seen for years in the
Decades.
past how black people have been treated by the judicial system, by the police, by even neighbors, by people we know, and we have pretty much taken it like champions.
Yeah.
With the death of Ahmaud Arbery, we have got to stand for something, or we're going to continue falling for anything. I agree with Doc. Like Doc said, if the laws does not change, then we're headed into decades, and probably some of us at an age into death without the laws being changed, and we're still around here. Do you know in some cities, Doc, Mel, that even if you go into, you still can't do certain things.
Oh, yes.
As a black person.
It's
Oh,
certain
yes, there's some cities you can't
It's
go
certain
into
cities.
without being afraid for your life.
Yeah, it's certain cities that you can't even step foot in Georgia, in Florida, in Alabama, Mississippi, all that. They're havens for people. But here's the thing, man. Look, I have friends that are white, I have black, Spanish friends, from all walks of life.
Right.
There are people who are going to see this who are genuinely good human beings.
Right.
And they're going to see this for what it is. It's a hate crime. There should be no room for hate. Like you said, call a spade, man.
Right.
Stop trying to sugarcoat it. If you harbor and hate for a certain group or a particular race of people, you shouldn't be allowed to be an officer. You shouldn't be allowed to be in office. You shouldn't be allowed to make a law. And like Doc said, it needs to be a term limit on these people, man, because you got people who have been in office for 40, 50 years, and they're still on the same thing.
Those same ideas.
Like you said, until these laws are changed, but we as a people, as a collective of people, if you're gonna say we the people of the United States, the United States isn't just white, it isn't just black, it isn't just
a melting pot.
It's a melting pot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the people have to be tired, man. I just don't understand why you can see something like this cut and dry. Why must we sit here and house these men, pay for trial, do a grand jury? What are we waiting on them to be convicted of? It's right there. You stopped the truck in front of the man, had guns and confronted the man who fought for his life, who ultimately died for standing his ground.
Well, check this out, though. We agree wholeheartedly on that issue. My only point is that issue is not the first. And if we don't change things, it won't be the last.
It's definitely won't be the last.
We need people to know that if you go out and commit this heinous act, your behind will be behind bars.
Exactly.
If not, execute it yourself. Curtis K. Richardson, how are the laws changed? Which election should be focused on? Curtis, I love you like a stepbrother. Check this out. In order for the laws to be changed, we need to hit the voting booths every time someone is running for Congress, every time someone is running for sheriff, for governor, for mayor, we need to hit the voting booths. And when we hit the voting booths, we need to have some kind of knowledge. We don't need to go in there and say, well, this person is a Democrat, so I'm going to check off their name. This person is a Republican, so I'm going to check off their name. This person is a libertarian. Libertarian. My name is Doc and I can talk. Okay? This person is a libertarian, so I'm going to check. No. We need to understand the policies each individual stands for.
Definitely.
There are newspapers, and most people don't read newspapers anymore, but there are articles, and most people even have websites. And if you read them, they will tell you their views. The American people need to stop just allowing people to stay in office and electing people based on their party.
And
as an African-American male, I refuse to accept any politician based on their party. I don't care what your party is.
I just want to add to that I think that as people, Black American, white, as American people, period. Don't just, like you said, don't just go in there and vote for a party, but also educate ourselves, educate our children, grandchildren, our neighbors, our friends, our circle, whatever, you know, on your job. Familiarize yourself with the policies, the terms within the policies, what they mean, what they stand for. You know, don't just look at it as, you know, monetary handouts of what they can just do for the community. What can they do for people as a whole?
Exactly.
You know, because most people don't understand the policies. Most people can't comprehend the terms that are in the policies. But don't be afraid to use your phones and your computers for more than just social media. Familiarize yourself, and if you want to start, if you know something, start a Facebook thing or an Instagram page or Twitter or whatever, where you can explain or break them down to the lowest common denominator for those who may not be able to, you know, read those big words and stuff, man. You just use a platform for something more than what we, World Star and stuff. I'm sorry.
Hey, Curtis, let's talk for a second. Curtis says, why the election that really matters not promoted the way the election that really don't matter is? Check this out, Curtis. The President of the United States cannot write a law. The President of the United States can sign a bill and make it into law, or he can veto it where it has to go through Congress again. Now, if he vetoes it, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't pass Congress a second time. However, they can pass it without the President. They can write a law, send it to the President can veto it, they all can vote for it again, and it goes right by him. So the President, although he is powerful, the House of Representatives and the Senate is where the votes need to be had. People need to understand that the Senate appoints judges. Therefore, if you go to court for anything, who's going to put that judge in the seat that's going to be judging you?
Your vote.
The judge that said,
definitely.
There was a Caucasian male, and I just pointed out that he's Caucasian because that's the truth, that committed rape. Okay, he committed rape, was caught red-handed. Okay, the judge gave him 8 months probation because he didn't want to ruin that young man's life. Now,
I remember that case.
I'm not saying that the judge is right, wrong, or this, that, and the other. However, I'm going to say, well, I'm going to say that he's wrong, because to me, when you steal take a person's humanity, to me, that shit is like murder. But that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is, don't say to that one young man, we don't want to ruin your life, but then somebody goes and steals a candy bar and they need to go to jail or juvenile or whatever. I'm saying that it needs to be even across the board. I'm saying the only way we make this happen is by voting in a Senate, not Democrat, not Republican, but of people who have the mindset that things are wrong and they need to make them right. That's it. I don't even know how else to word that.
Well, to reiterate on what Doc just said, the main thing is you have to put things in place.
Yeah, you do.
People grab their phones and they go to the social media, like King Mel said, and they can do everything on their phone.
Exactly.
Put things in place.
Exactly.
We have, as a people, we have to put things in place. The white people do it every single day to protect one another. That's why the reason why cops get away with so much.
Amen.
They get away with murder. They get away with killing Negroes every single day. And the reason why? Because they just simply protect each other. It's a reason why Emmett Till murderer got away. It's a reason why the 4 little black girls in Birmingham, Alabama, they didn't catch their murderer. It's a reason why they didn't catch Medgar Evers till he was almost dead, because white people protect each other and they put things in place. If we as a black race would put things in place, we can better alarm ourselves and better protect ourselves when we got things in place.
And to add on to your point like that, listen, man, I seen something the other day. I was on Facebook, whether it was Facebook or Instagram or something I was on. Man, listen, and it's gonna sound crazy to some, but it's facts. Look, it's rare that you can ask your oppressor for freedom to be better. They don't want you to be better. And when I say that, I'm saying it to say this. Not black, not white. We have people that are in place, man. All these big, rich people, businesses and things, they have this thing where the big people with the money making the laws and stuff like that, right? They're not gonna make the laws better for us because they want us to be what my grandmother called a sucker. And my grandmother used to say, if it wasn't for the suckers, the spokes couldn't live. Meaning the people who live in Sporty couldn't live that way if we wouldn't be suckers and just buy into the nonsense that they're trying to give us. So as people, as human beings, black, white, blue, if you tired, man, you're gonna have, like I said, we're gonna have to educate ourselves, start using these forums for more than just World Star and Real Housewives, and stop looking at all that stuff, man, inviting drama in your life and start inviting change.
Where do we go from here as a people as far as the Aubrey case is?
Okay,
where do we
where
go
would you go from with
here?
people?
You know,
Where do I go?
all of us, all three of us.
I'm gonna tell you
people.
where we go from here.
Where do we go from here?
I'm gonna tell you where we go from here.
When it falls out of the meter,
Listen,
media, so to speak.
that's the thing.
Right.
It shouldn't fall out of the media. The same way, if you go to prison and they make you live this down for the rest of your life, even though you're a changed man, right? They make you live this down for the rest of your life. It always comes up, no matter what you do. If you go to get a job, if you go get an apartment. All I'm saying is, if you want to do it, if you want to change, you're going to have to be the change that you keep talking about.
Okay.
Bro, you saying everything I'm saying right now. Curtis says right, so we need to promote the election more than we promote the presidential election, but for some reason we don't. We need to promote them all equally.
Right.
Anytime the booths are open, we need to be voting. We need to be voting for the sheriff. We need to be voting for the governor, because you got to think about it. Anybody with an elected position can be easily voted in, and their ass can be easily voted out. So we tell them, if you don't do things the way we, the people, feel like they should be done, we're going to vote you out of office. Not we're going to come in there and shoot you, or we're going to come in there with some old nonsense. We're going to vote you out of office. We're going to get you out of the position over us. Marcelin Lundy says, no matter what, we will never be free as black people. They will always have the upper hand over us. The law is made for white people. Even when we do vote, they cheat on the votes and get away with it as well. It's not so much of us voting. They need to stop the cheating and the machines and find a better way to let everyone's vote count. I disagree. Now, I'm not disagreeing with they need to find a way to make everyone's vote count. I'm not disagreeing with that by no stretch of the imagination. But we will always, we need to get rid of that mindset. The only way we will always is we accept this nonsense.
So
when I was little, I grew up in Simpson Woods, in the Collier Heights apartments now the apartments are empty. But Simpson Woods, you couldn't come in Simpson Woods and mess with nobody, because everybody knew each other. And the men in Simpson Woods, I'm not saying they were stellar or they were all preached anything to that nonsense, but you come in there and touch somebody you want to, and there will be a gathering of men busting your head to the white meat, because they didn't play them kind of games. Now our men are in jail. That's socially engineered. We need to get our men out of jail and put them back in the homes. We need them raising the kids, and we need them standing up for our people. We need a voice. We have the economics. We spent over $1 trillion, $1 trillion on things. So how can we say, if you don't treat us this way, then that $1 trillion is going to go another way? And I guarantee you people will listen to us. We got to go to break. Father, man, hey, Felix, our breaks are coming too quick. We need to stretch this out some more. And I'm going to talk till we go off the air. I'm just letting you know. I don't know.
What time is it?
So many black lives incarcerated. So many black lives silenced. When will we stop the madness?
across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.
I started to stick my tongue out and come up like this,
Oh,
you know,
don't
my
do
jump
it.
man
Don't.
level.
There you go.
Jumping right back into this.
Throwbacks.
Okay, we talking about Aubrey, right?
Yeah.
And we're having a great discussion on here as well, because Marcelin, I really love your opinion. Thank you for expressing it. No matter even if your opinion differs from me, family, say how you feel.
Absolutely.
Because a singular mindset does not help us. You know, just agreeing with somebody to agree, that we can go back and forth all day. As long as it's respectful, I ain't got a problem with it.
all love.
Curtis is talking to Marcelin. He said the people that's over those machines are put in place by the people that win in the election that don't show up to vote in because it's not promoted. I ain't mad at your family. You guys are touching on it. Dime Duquez says that, I hope I said your name right, Dime, says you guys are touching on a serious topic, but you people will not come together except for a barbecue or a car show. That's a little on the racist side, but the whole you people thing. But I do feel your point as far as, you know, the unity, as far as us coming together. Kamaya Moore is watching. That's my daughter. Hey, baby, I love you.
Hey, Miss Moore, how you doing?
We were going. We talking about Aubrey. I'm kind of a little, you know, I'm happy about my daughter.
Hey,
my
that's
daughter watching.
good.
I hope I ain't embarrassing you yet.
Yeah, you are.
But
yeah, you are.
but back to the Aubrey case. Okay. Seriously, when we talk about our financial base, when we talk about our men being back in the homes, raising our children, when we talk about a whole generation of people lost, being incarcerated, and our young men having no guidance. When I was little, there was no way. If I had my pants below my drawers, my dad would pull my pants up and put them up with a staple gun if he had to, because he wasn't trying to hear that nonsense. You know, I just had a Facebook page post that said my choices for dinner was, here's the food. Take it or leave it. Now, in my house, the options were, with my father, it was, here's the food. You can eat it peacefully, or you can eat it slapped and crying. But it's time to eat, so you finna eat. That's you. But, you know, that's not how we run things anymore. Now, I'm not saying that it's, you know, good, bad, or indifferent, but I'm saying that the impact of the male being in the home is affecting us tremendously, and we don't see it.
Now, let me ask this question right
and
here.
it runs through the whole thing.
Right.
Please.
We want our black males in the home. And a lot of them are out of the home because of their financial and economical value to the community, which means that if they ain't making enough to take care of the family, or if they're not working enough, then they're going to result to means to try to get that financing.
Thank you.
And even though some guys go to jail and stay in jail 4 or 5 months and get back out into that same scenario that put them there. So here they are back on the corner doing the same thing with the same results.
Did you watch Black in America by Soledad O'Brien?
I haven't watched it yet.
A business owner said he would hire a white man fresh out of prison than a black man with a degree.
Is that right?
He said that on air. Wasn't ashamed to say that at all.
Yeah.
We got to think about what we're doing. We need to open companies. We need to hire each other. We shouldn't have to be. If we're spending trillions of dollars, we need to understand how we need to treat each other in a business.
Okay.
By that, I mean how we. If I'm behind the counter, right? When you come in, hello, I know you. You're my brother. But if you walk into a company that I'm working in, hello, sir, how are you doing? What would you like? You know, if that's my job, I need to treat you as though you're a customer, not you're my brother at that time, because of everybody that's watching. Even though I'm your brother, you need to treat me with that same dignity and respect.
But my question is, how do we keep our black men in the home?
That's what I'm saying. We give black men respect. We give them a position. We give them a position. We give them the power where our women respect us, where our children respect us, where we are back the head of our households. Yes, sir. I apologize.
I think that. So I'm gonna have to touch on it like this here.
Right.
Like I said, it goes back to what I said a couple shows ago. We have to patronize our own businesses. Thing is, man, with black people, and I've noticed this a lot, we don't stick to things for our community. And the reason I'm saying that is because of this here. Remember the thing with Gucci? And they had the blackface thing? People boycotted that for a hot second. Now, and then they issue an apology. So you're telling me that you paid this person X amount of money and your chief marketing strategist did not tell you, hey, that's a bad idea. You shouldn't do that.
Well, 9 times out of 10, the chief marketer had to approve it.
But exactly, and that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, you let somebody put out something that was blackface. You boycotted for no more Gucci, yet and still you went right back out and bought it. Montclair had one with the black lips on it. You know what I'm saying? They had the blackface lips on it, right? They said something about that. They went right back out and started buying Montclair. We don't do the same thing for our own people's businesses. We run the people and give them our money who don't respect us as a people or a culture.
How many people you know still buying Fat Farm?
Thank you. How many people you know still buying Rockwell? Sean John done fell off the map. You don't hardly hear nobody hollering about Sean John.
Rockaware was bought out, but that's not the point. If you don't see how all of this ties into Aubrey, then let me try to explain it. That everything is run by economics, right? When George Zimmerman, when he murdered Trayvon Martin, he didn't have enough money for those attorneys. Businesses pay for his attorneys. Why would we still go to those businesses? Why would we spend another dime in that business that promoted a man killing one of our children? Why is that okay? Why would we think like that?
Because we do the same thing with our oppressors. If you look at it, the same thing from back in the day when Walt Disney was racist with all those racist cartoons and stuff, right? But look at Walt Disney World and Disneyland right now, making so much money off of not just white people, but us as well. The same thing goes back with the ice cream truck song. Most people don't know that that's a racist song. It came from a song, it was called Nigga Come Get Your Watermelon. That's where it came from. And I think it was Columbia Records that put it out. And here's the thing, right now you still buying stuff and still have your kids running to the ice cream truck when that song is playing. I refuse to buy my kids anything from anybody playing that.
The thing about it is things are not widely known. I mean, if people don't know, then why would they? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
some know and care not to.
I hear you, some, but the majority need to know. I mean, we don't discuss these things because we stay out of politics. We don't want to do. We want to do whatever's popular.
That's the thing.
We made Gucci popular.
Exactly. And they don't.
The African American, we run the culture. People look at something cool because we do it.
Exactly.
When we dance a certain way, that dance takes off. But we don't profit from it.
No, you don't.
Because other people get it and take the idea. If you look at a video game, and I ain't gonna say the name of it, but I'm Fortnite. But if you look at the game, they have so many dances and stuff that's taken from our community.
Exactly.
And those people who made the dances are not getting a dime.
Not at all.
This company has been made billions of dollars off of that. So how is that right?
So when you ask
I'm
yourself,
saying that we need to capitalize off of our economic power.
Just like you got Facebook where people are allowed to place and post this racist stuff, I would hope, and if there's anybody out there, young or old, who has the money or the technology and can come up with something like a black Facebook or something, please do. I would love to be on it because I don't want to be on something where you're able to say, well, it's a freedom of speech. That's racist. It's racism. You're promoting it. It shouldn't be a freedom of speech.
Facebook is going to say that they are not going to not monitor, but restrict people from their freedom of speech.
And it's going to go right back to what the old thing said. The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
Nothing. Woo! Well, you touched on that thing right there.
So if they're not going to do anything, you're going to continue to let the evil triumph.
So do we not do anything as far as Aubrey's case is concerned after it goes to court? After you
have to know. This thing, if those men get off on this, it's not going to end well.
Yeah.
It will be a powder
Right.
keg, just
because
like
we got to understand that once the grand jury gets the case and look at all the evidence, at that juncture, they can say, well, we don't have enough evidence to charge this guy. So just don't think, America, because they're incarcerated, okay, we got them, we're going to sentence them to the death penalty. No, that's not the case. They can easily be acquitted as well by an all-white jury.
Exactly.
So we have to watch the news. We have to, if we can go to Brunswick, Georgia, if we can go to Glenn County Courthouse, if we can stand accountable and show these people, this one right here, you will not get away with. You got away with Trayvon, but this one right here, you won't get away with. We're going to stand our ground.
If we can get some high-powered attorneys in our community
he has
to go
Ben
through.
Crump representing them now. If Ben Crump was the attorney that represented Trayvon Martin,
if we can go get some, if we can get some high-powered attorneys that represent us and our views to challenge this stand your ground law, to have it typed out plainly to where you cannot initiate something and then say you're standing your ground. That's what we need to have. That's what we need, because you can't have a scapegoat. We need these Jim Crow laws to be taken off of the books finally. This whole thing to where a school is funded by the taxes in the community. So for a poor community, what kind of taxes are going to be taken out of there? So how is that school going to look in a affluent community?
None of us have to be living poor. Listen, man, and just do the math if you don't believe me. Let's just use black people for example. It's 50-some million of us, right? If we wanted to help out our fellow brothers and sisters, right? If we all just decide to say, here, I'm gonna donate $1 to this family. That's it. You can pull that family up out of poverty. You can help them out. It's 50 million. Just say I'm gonna donate $1. Say we start a GoFundMe for a family. Just donate $1. You know what I'm saying? If the family need a lawyer, we gonna each donate $1. You won't need 50 million for the lawyer, right? But you can easily help reach the goal by just donating $1. And that's all I'm saying. When you look at people and you look at humanity, it starts with simplicity. And the most simple things, we make it hard. And when we make it hard, once it becomes complicated, it's hard to undo it because you're so used to doing it the complicated way. $1. If Doc, right now, if something, and God forbid something was wrong, and we say, okay, we reaching out to y'all. We reaching out to all our brothers and sisters, fans and viewers, right? Doc needs help. He's about to lose his house or whatever, right? If somebody just donate $1, right? Everybody donate $1. Doc ain't got to lose his house. Doc ain't got to lose his car. Doc ain't got, his child ain't got to go without medicine or something.
I feel you. I don't know how I feel about that one because I'm not the kind to just give. I believe that when you give somebody something, then you're setting them up for failure. Because giving somebody something don't teach them responsibility. If you give somebody something, you give them the opportunity to get ahead. If I give you something, I'm gonna give you a job. I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna teach you how to make money. Because if I give you money, then when that runs out, you need somebody to give you something again. And then how many people do we have below poverty?
If you have to ask somebody for something, you've already failed.
I don't.
That's deep.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that one right there because saying if you have to ask somebody for something you've already failed. Listen to me, man. There are plenty of young people out there up and coming, entrepreneurs, older people too, people who had ideas but couldn't get the financial backing. For instance, I did lawn leveling for 7 years, right? I know what to do. But to get started in that business, it would take more than I have. I don't have it right now. But if somebody said, okay, I'm gonna start this business. I'm gonna help you get this business started, right? I can employ other youth and other people and tell them, don't stop with me. Learn what I'm doing and get your own business and start going ahead. You see, what I'm saying is, you don't have to give everybody everything, but if you help people get things started, we don't have to go outside looking for stuff where people turning us down based on the color of our skin.
I'm not arguing with that at all. Like we need a African American Shark Tank. I feel you on that.
I ain't say I said that, so somebody told me that.
You said
no, but you get what I'm saying.
You said other youth. That gray in your beard, bro. You ain't youth.
No, I'm saying other. I'm getting, listen,
okay, I'm gonna stop playing.
Listen, I am getting old, but I'm distinguished. I'm only 17.
Cubed. But okay. Curtis says no code of ethics in place. That's why we can't ask these questions properly with no structure in place. I feel you on structure. We definitely need a leader and we need a plan. Patrick Taylor, the example about X amount of people giving to help has been done in China. It works. I'm not disagreeing. I just would have to see it because I think you have a lot of people who don't need what they hand out. Denise Barrett, I disagree. You give and you give resources. Okay, I feel you on that one, Denise. Right. Denise Barrett, everybody started somewhere. I agree with you again, yes. And most people need help. I know. I took out a business loan once for a nice little sum of money, and the business failed. It ain't gonna stop me from doing it again. Yeah. I'm still gonna try to get me a business because I believe I should own something. Marcel and Lundy, they are not going to get off because they need to make an example. I feel you on that one. Absolutely. So they can shut us up as black people because they have gotten away with killing our black brothers and sisters. I feel you on that. Yeah, absolutely. Denise, that's the way we did it in the past. It takes a tribe, a village. I feel you. People don't know that the black family was behind MLK. MLK, again, one of my heroes, one of the people I like to turn to when I'm talking. The black family supported him. Yeah. When he went to here, there, and other, he was staying with black people. Yeah. When he needed money, the black family was donating money to him.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yes. When they drove around in, I want to say, Oldsmobile cars because they were faster at the time, so they could outrun the police and get away when things happen. Yes. We need that kind of stuff. Right. We definitely need that kind of stuff. But again, we need attorneys. We need somebody to challenge these laws and to change these laws.
And this goes right back into what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Look, it takes a village to raise a child. Right. And when you go into that right there, like I said, people need help. Yeah. But you have people with money who won't donate money to help those other people.
That's right.
Look, you say we need people in Congress and voting people in and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. That starts with us looking at those young kids who want to be lawyers, who want to be doctors, who want to be scientists, who want to go to school for and become architects and everything and build in the community and stuff. So you can stop having to go to people who do not like us as a culture or a people. Stop giving them our money because they don't give it back once they get it, and they still treat us like, and I'm gonna say it, shit. Sorry, it's what it is.
Look at how long the dollar stays in different communities. Yeah. Supposedly the dollar stays in the African American community for 6 seconds. 6 seconds. And the dollar is gone from our community once we get it out into others. Yeah. That's why when companies want to, they say there's, the ghetto is poor. But notice all the companies that come to the ghetto to advertise, to sell their products.
A lot of businesses that'll set up the ghetto.
Yeah. We got to go, family. We got to go. But man, I don't want to. This is good. Check this out. Share this with everybody you know. And again, like I say, it's getting hard out here for a pimp.
Yeah, me.
But we gonna get you up. If you get a chance to donate to $ TV 1061, and we'd appreciate you because we're trying to keep the show on. Right now, we're going through a hard time, especially with the COVID going on. I want to give a shout out to my mother, Miss Regina Schofield. It was great seeing you today, Mom. We laughed as we always do. Give a shout out to my father. We spoke today as well. You know, he was a single parent father, and by no stretch of the imagination do I give him any kind of mother credit because he was a great father. But on his best day, he wasn't my mother, and vice versa. I don't think that a man could be a mother or a woman could be a father. Exactly. You're the best mother that you can be, and you're the best father that you can be, and I appreciate you both. I want to give a shout out to all our friends and family watching. Yes. Of course, I got to give a shout out to all my military comrades in arms. Please watch your battle buddy. Suicide is up. Make sure that everybody, try to watch out for a person. If they're going through something, try to be there for them. And got to give a shout out to my lady. You're my heart, and I lay with everything I am. And my daughter's watching. Thank you, Kamaya. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kamaya.
I ain't got no time to introduce everybody because these guys need to go ahead.
Your daddy just over here. He can't stop smiling.
I love you all. Yeah, when thinking about my baby watching me, I can't help it. But go ahead, Mel.
But listen, again, thank you guys for watching. Absolutely. To all you mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. To my mother, happy Mother's Day. And to my kids' mothers, I love y'all. Thank you for blessing me with my hearts. I love y'all for that. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day. You guys are wonderful. Without you, Queens, man, it could be nowhere. So
absolutely.
Celebration is up right now.
One love. Shout out to you, Lady G, my mama, Geneva Lundy, all the way from Bibb County, Macon, Georgia. I love you. Happy Mother's Day. Also to Angela, Dwayne, Mop, Shelly Gale, Michelle, Denise, thank y'all for a wonderful day today. I had a pleasure, and I have to do this before I get off the air. My sister and brother had grits and shrimp that they cooked. My brother last week, my sister this week.
Ask your sister how to make that gravy.
I will.
I don't know how to make that gravy. I love me some shrimp and grits.
Well, first I got to give the winner of the shrimp and grits. Hey, Big D, boy, you know I love you to death.
Oh, boy, I love
But on this one right here, because of those grits, Marcy beat you.
Hey, Marcy,
did, and Doc Marcy, he wants the recipe.
Hey, I need to know how to make that gravy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know that gravy. Hey, I love me some shrimp and grits.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Natalie D, you already know what it is. See you in a minute. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all for watching this show. And like Doc said, listen, you know, coronavirus not only affects you, but it affects us as well. We got bills to pay.
Yes.
Our executive producer, Felix, asked us to ask you, support this show. If you love this show and you love these four educated men giving you the business, giving you and keeping you informed every week, we got to stay here to make it happen. So donate to us. That's money sign TV 1061. Send those donations in. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start off myself, and I'm going to donate some money myself. So please follow my lead and keep us on the air.
All right.
We love you.
Appreciate you, Kings, man.
Hey, thank you, gentlemen, for a great show. I appreciate it. Remember, even though we get intense and we might yell at each other, so on and so forth, in the end of the day, we brothers, and we're just trying to get the facts out. Different points of view does not mean that we against each other.
No, not at all.
Much love, family. Join us next week for Talk Show Kings. Same time, same place.
Peace.
We're having big fun.
TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.